Yeshua Shalom, family. This is your boy Hezekiah, and I decided to make a little tutorial video on name change, since that's something a lot of questions and how to do. And so it's pretty self-explanatory, but take a little time to go through the process. Okay, so you can go to Google. I'm in California, so I just put California name change. So wherever you're at, you can go to the name change. It's going to be a self-help. You can do it the self. So you can go for an adult, or if you're changing any your son and daughter's names, go for an adult. File a name change petition. So it gives you info on that. As a court to change your name, follow these steps. Fill out your court forms. So this would be the petition for a name change. Bring this up. Bring all these up. Okay, so we're going to go to the first petition for a change of name, which would be this one here. Okay, so alright, so here you would just put your present name, birth name, put your address, let's put Cali, the zip code, your phone number if you want. You can give email, but don't really need all that. And then it'd be the county, where your county, so depending on your county, what the name of your county is. Court address, court city, and the zip code. Then this would be your birth name. You want to put, if you have a middle name, you want to put your middle name as well. So that way your whole everything on that birth certificate, that legal name is changed. So your birth name, whole birth name. Let me do this, whole birth. First, middle, last. Don't worry about the case number. They'll fill that in once you do that. Whole birth name. Your whole birth name. And then what you want to change it to. So this would be, just under counsel and guidance of Rabbi Ras Edonis. You can go Ras, whatever you choose. Tafari, Fatty. And this is, I guess, if you're seeking to change additional names, but just one name works. You have one name on your birth certificate. Number of person under 18. If you're under 18, none of this needs to be applied. We're most likely over 18. changing any gender. Oh, they're going crazy for that. So that's that for the petition of name change. And there's instructions here, so you can read that and get information. So that's that for the first form, petition NC 100. Might have different numbers wherever you're at. That's for California. And here's the name and information about the person whose name is to be changed. So this is going. This would be well, this is going to be the same thing. Whole birth name. This is an attachment to the first form that we just do. If that's an attachment, it'd be 202. Petitioner applies for a decree to change the name of the following person, which would be self. Present name would be your whole birth name. Proposed name would be the new name that you choose. This is a little disclaimer. This is not legal advice. This is strictly educational, informational, entertainment purposes only. If you need to seek an attorney for help, you can call and consult an attorney strictly to learn how a birth certificate, a name change form is to be completed or can be filled out. So born on would be your birth date. And presently most likely over 18. Place of birth. Where you're born. Male. Current residence. Your address. Reason for name change. I put, just in their eyes, I put religious belief. Although I'm not religious, but for their legal term. Relationship of the petitioner to the person whose name will be changed. Self. The following person whose name will be changed is under 18. Don't have to worry about that. If the person whose name will be changed is 18 of age or older, that person must sign the following declaration. I declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of California that I am not under the jurisdiction of the California Department of Corrections, which would mean you're in state prison or on parole. And if you are on parole, then of course you can put I am. Not sure how that works. If one is, I believe we'll go into it real fast. What doesn't really say. I am not under the jurisdiction of California, and I am not required to register as a sex offender under Penalty Code Section 290. So you would just date it. Print your full name, your whole birth name. Whole birth name, and then you would sign it there. Each petitioner must sign this petition in the space provided below, or if additional pages are attached at the end of the last attachment. I declare under penalty of perjury under the law of the state of California, information in the foregoing petition is true and correct. And you would date that. Print the whole birth name again. And sign signature of petitioner, sign there. And that would be that. Attachment to petition for change of name. Then we'll go to the next form. This would be the same as the first page. Whole birth name. Your address. State. Zip code. If you want to give phone number. Your county. The court's address. Court Street. Petition, name of each petitioner, whole birth name. The court will fill the case number out. This will be the whole birth name again. This will be your whole present name, whole birth name. The name you plan to change it to. Then you're going to turn all these papers into the court clerk, and so when you turn these in, this form in, along with all the others, the court clerk's going to give you a notice of hearing. She's going to give you a date, time, department, room to show up. The address of the court is wherever the address of the court. A copy of this order shall be. So this is the order. This is the order you're going to take to the newspaper company. What the newspaper company, what they're going to do is they're going to have to run it and publish it in this here. It goes right here. A copy of this order shall be published at least once each week for 4 successive weeks prior to the date set for hearing on the petition in the following newspaper of general circulation printed in this county. And then they'll let you know what newspaper allows for the circulation, and you'll just click that and write whatever it is. Newspaper company in your area. And then this will be for the judge. He'll be signing that. And go to the next form. It's just the civil case cover sheet. So it'd be whole birth name. Your address. Your city. Your state. Zip code. The pen if you want. You can leave it blank, or if you want, phone number. Your county. Your county, court, street, court, city, zip code. Case name will just be your whole birth name. Civil case would be unlimited. It's going to be over 25,000 later on when we get into it, because that whole name, which is a legal name, which is on that birth certificate, for some reason it came it's a title, so that title is worth more than 25,000. So it would be unlimited. And then check one box for the case type, just because I know, but you can read through it so you can understand and see. It's auto tort, other personal injury property, it's a tort, civil rights, employment, contract, real property, unlawful detainer, judicial review, provisionally complex civil litigation, enforcement of judgment, miscellaneous civil complaint, miscellaneous civil petition. It's going to be another petition. If you go to the instructions, it'll show what falls under what. And so there we go. So how I got it was miscellaneous civil petition, and it falls under, there's a name, petition for name change. So that's how we get this box checked out. Case is not complex, so we go to the instructions and read what is complex and not complex. And it says in complex cases only, parties must also use a civil case court cover sheet to designate whether the case is complex. If a plaintiff believes the case is complex under Rule 3.40 of the California Rules of Court, this must be indicated by, and you have to go to see what Rule 3.4 is. But because it tells you right here, if a plaintiff designs a case that's complex, and if there's a plaintiff and a defendant, then that's more of a civil, sounds like more, it's an action, it's a case that has some, it's like complex. It has something to do with a plaintiff and defendant. But when you change your name, you're not doing anything but just change your name. So it's not complex, because here's also, yeah, if it was complex, you have these choices to choose, which none of these are applicable, so we skip that. And we're not seeking any remedy, and the case is not a class action suit. If there are any known related cases filed and served notice related, so just date. Print. And sign. And so those forms are done. So now what we would do, review our forms, make sure we fill them out correctly. And once you have them correct, everything's good. Make at least 2 copies for your records. Sometimes courts misplace papers. The court will keep the original. 1 copy is for you, the other is for the publication in a newspaper. You may not need an extra copy for the publication in the newspaper because you may not need to publish your name change request. So just depending on where you're at, most likely you will need to publish your request in the newspaper. And then you will take those copies, the originals, to the court clerk. The clerk will stamp your forms with file, keep the original, and return the copies to you. The order to show cause will have information on your court date, time, and department number. You will have to pay a filing fee. Find out how much the filing fee is for a first petition, sometimes called a first appearance or first papers. If you cannot afford the fee, you can ask for a fee waiver, which can help. The fee waiver is, let's see what that looks like. It goes by, I know in California, it goes by, they ask you questions about your income. So yeah, if you are low income and cannot afford to pay the fee to file your court papers, you can ask for a fee waiver. So depending on where you're at, most likely you can ask for. There are 3 ways to qualify for a fee waiver. If you're applying or if you're receiving public benefits like Medi-Cal, Food Stamp, CalFresh, CalWorks, General Assistance, Social Security, Tribal. If your household income before taxes is less than the amounts listed on Form FW001 and Item 5B, or if the court finds that you do not have enough income to pay for your household's basic needs and the court fees, the court will waive that. And I know in California, that fee is, I believe it's $600. I'm not gonna look for it, but I believe it's $600. So if you can, you might as well try. If you can qualify for any of these to have that fee waived, it saves money, because you're still gonna have to pay to get that. You're still gonna have to pay to get the name change circulated in the newspaper, which out here cost. California was $377. And so now file those forms with the clerk and publish the order to show. In most cases, you must publish the order to show cause for change in a newspaper of general circulation once a week for 4 weeks in a row. Your court most likely has a list of newspapers that are approved for publishing legal notices. So the whole processing is about a month and a half, maybe 2 months, just depending on how fast the courts move. The cost for publication can vary greatly between newspapers, and your court fee waiver will not waive your publication fee. So it's very important that you check the price of publishing before you put the name of the newspaper in the order to show cause for a change of name. So we publish that, and once you publish the order to show cause for a change of name, after those 4 weeks that your name is circulated into the newspaper company will give you a call so that you can pick up your affidavit of publication. Once you get that affidavit of publication, you want to take that back to the court clerk, put that into the file or on the record, so that information is on the record. So when your hearing date comes, all that information is already in front of the judge and in the file, in the court record. Make sure that is put in, because if it's not put in on the record, then it's pretty much like it never happened. So anytime that ones and ones, even if you have to go to court or whatever, best thing to do is write up, if you ever have to, write up, and we'll be getting more into writing up documents and things like that to put them in for trials and cases. But you always want to place something on the record, because when you place something on a document on the record, that's a contract, and that contract is a document. So they say using that ink, it shows, paper runs their game of commerce. Documents, verbal contracts, you can say things, but that's just a constructive contract, which means that it's not truth, it's not on paper. So all the time, place papers, documents in the court. So that's a little bit of what I've experienced and learned. And so then you go to your court hearing, go to court on your hearing date, take your proof that the order to show cause was published in the newspaper, if you were required to publish it. Also take the decree changing name. for the judge to sign. So you want, here's another form that you want to make sure we sign. Get that in. This is going to be your whole birth name, address. Your zip code. It's an option. I'll just do that. But you most likely probably do. Just if there's anything wrong, I'll give you a call. County, your county again. Ford Street. Zip code. Yeah, and I had, it's a funny thing, like I said, I always make copies because I had filled this out. And the day that I went to court, they didn't have this, so I had to fill it out again. So, I mean, you could even go and fill it out. You can do, because you already,
Are you talking to someone?
you already have this information, so you can put the date that they give you. And, you know, whatever courtroom would be. And then the court will fill that out. They'll let you know. There's no objections. If there are any objections, if anybody comes up and shows. And then the judge will sign that off, which makes it official. Decree, just like in the scriptures, the decree, the order to have that name changed. And that's filed, and that's gonna, this is what is, very good. This is what you're gonna keep for your records, showing that your name's changed. So later you can update your the social security numbers and things of that, other contracts that have your old name. And I'll get further, and I'll get a little into it, but updating that social security number, that social security number is just a number, an identity number for that legal name, not for the human being. It's for that legal name title. Then you'll get your decree once he signs it. So if the judge approves your request for a change of name, judge will sign the decree, change the name. Once you get your signed decree, get a certified copy from the court clerk. And you'll want to get a certified copy because you'll need that. So when you go to update your social security and other contracts, that you can update that. Change all your legal documents, including your birth certificate, social security card, and other government issued identification like your passport or driver's license, which we'll get into that later. So that's as far as that goes for name change, and hope that may be of value to the ones and ones who is looking, seeking on information on how to do it, or seeking just to know what it consists of. And I will yield at this time. And may all ones and ones household be blessed in the spirit and truth of Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christos. In the name of Kedamawi Haile Selassie, Jah, RasTafari.